Good morning, everyone. This is Charles Folkart on the first day of winter, December 21st, 2016. This is a big day for us up here in northwest Montana as the days start getting longer from here on out. I wanted to do this as a follow-up to the previous video I did as to how I think they are able to fake the zero gravity in the ISS, the International Space Station. I believe earlier they used to use a harness, and it was obvious that they were doing so. But I think they've completed their electromagnetic levitation device, and I believe that the ISS, the ISS space station is actually on the ground somewhere, either in a large warehouse or perhaps even underground, and it's surrounded by one of these electromagnetic machines or gadget or device. You'll have to watch the previous video to get a background on this. But I went looking for some more information, and I want to show you what I found. So I went looking for other information on magnetic levitation, and here we have it in this video. This is lectures by Walter Lewin, I guess you'd say. And let's take a look at this name. For those of you with eyes to see, you'll know already, but for those of you who haven't quite who aren't quite completely awake yet, let's go have a look at this name. Lewin family history here at ancestry.com. It's a Jewish name, Ashkenazi, German and Polish spelling of Levin. I don't need to say any more. So back here at this website, it's got quite a few views, over 300,000, quite a few likes, only 33 dislikes. And then what caught my eye is, how do magicians levitate women, with a demo? And the demo's way over here, and we'll get to that in a moment. But I made a comment here, and there was quite a bit of an exchange between me and probably a graduate student of this professor, and he's got this YouTube site, this channel, lectures by Walter Lewin. They will make you love physics. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to get over, see, before I do that, they use these numbers and these equations, and that's what they use to tell people about different myths, because it's only in a mathematical formula, and I'll show you more of that in a minute. But let's get this going here. So he's teaching the class, and there's quite a few of them in there, and you'll be able to see that in a minute. I'm going to click over here and get past all this, get to the point where he's going to levitate a blow up of a woman here. Let's there we go. Come on, let's go. Let me speed her up even a little more. Keep everybody in suspense. He's a good teacher, obviously. They all love it, and they're all being brainwashed here. Look at this little electromagnetic device is going to be used to, let me pause it, slow her down. Let's go back to normal and play her again. And here we go. He's going to turn her on. And she's floating. Zero gravity. That's that little device. I know she's not very heavy. It's just a blow-up doll, and they're all impressed. Class is over. Your brainwashing session is over for a while. So let's go down here real quick. I asked the question, is magnetic levitation on a much larger scale, obviously, how NASA is able to fake the zero gravity in the ISS? I get a response just a few minutes later. Doesn't show, but see, 22 hours ago and 22 hours ago, there is gravity at the ISS. Without gravity, it could not rotate around the Earth. However, everything in the ISS has no weight, and that is not a fake. And I respond, if you say so. And then I edited it. Can you show us an experiment demonstrating gravity? And he comes back pretty quick, and he says gravity near Earth's surface, radius r, is blah, 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 blah. Thus, at the altitude of the ISS, 300 kilometers larger than r, g is about 9, blah, 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 blah. That is a must to stay in orbit. Okay. So, other than a mathematical formula, you can't actually demonstrate gravity. So, you remember back here, I asked him, can you do an experiment? And he comes back with this mathematical formula. And he comes back pretty quick with an answer, and he says, if you are in the ISS and throw an object with a speed of about 8 kilometers per second in the direction opposite of the blah, 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 blah. And then he says, I don't know where this came from, but he says, not true. Oh, yeah, so this is, he's saying right here, not true. Read my last message, which is this one. He's using math as his experiment. And then he comes back and says the simple fact that the ISS orbits around the Earth is 100% proof that there must be a gravitational field. If there were none, the ISS would escape from Earth and would not be able to orbit Earth. Then I come back a few hours later and I said, you're making an assumption I'm not willing to make. That is, the ISS orbits the Earth. And aren't you using circular reasoning, aka begging the question, a logical fallacy? He comes back, assuming that Newton's laws are correct. They have been verified some 10 to the 99th times. He's trying to he's telling me in a polite way, I guess, that I don't know Newton's laws, and that he knows more than I do. But anyway, an object can only orbit the Earth or the Moon or the Sun or a planet or a comet if it is in its gravitational field. See, so he's assuming that all of these things orbit, the planets, the Sun. So anyway, let's go on. In the absence of a gravitational field, the object will move in a straight line. This is straightforward high school physics. It can be derived using Newton's laws. And this is my last message on this topic. So he's through with me. I kind of question him, and he doesn't like it because I'm not accepting his BS. So I come back and I say, I know you're done with this, but aren't you assuming ISS orbits the Earth and all the other objects? Not because you've verified it for yourself, but because that is what you've been taught. We've been shown images and told what they represent, and we accept it because most everyone does. Well, I'm an exception. Isn't that what a good student is supposed to do in a science question hypothesis? I asked my first question because I don't assume ISS is orbiting the Earth, but rather on the ground inside a large levitation device. Thanks for taking your time with me. You've shown me that other than a math formula and circular reasoning, you cannot demonstrate gravity's existence, and yet that is taught as straightforward high school physics. My point is, just because it is widely accepted and taught doesn't make it the reality. In conclusion, I think they show us these images, which are nothing more than CGI, computer-generated images. They show us paintings, and they're very good at it. This is Hollywood script. This is Hollywood working with NASA, and they just show us a picture, and they tell us what it means and what it represents, and most of us, at least I did for quite a while, believe it. And they're getting a lot more sophisticated. So they're able to get these objects to float above the machine. I don't know if it's a machine, or I don't know what you call that down there. A electromagnetic motor. And look at that little machine is able to hold these objects up off the top of the table. And why can't they do this on a bigger scale? And I think they have. And that's how they get us to believe their propaganda about that we're in space, and the ISS and all the rest of that, satellites, etc., are up there, and they are all in space orbiting around the Earth, that by the force of gravity that you cannot demonstrate through experiments, but only through mathematical formulas.